Welcome to Exploring Orthodoxy and also to all our listeners, including from Geronda Savvas Lavriotis channel. How are you, Geronda Savvas?
I'm okay, thank you.
Oh, good. So now we're starting on chapter 14 of Revelation. Shall I just read it first and then we'll go back?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
so
perfect.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. Then I looked, and behold, a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, like the voice of many waters, and like the voice of loud thunder. And I heard the sound of harpists playing their harps. They sang as it were a new song before the throne, before the four living creatures and the elders. And no one could learn that song except the 144,000 who were redeemed from the earth. These are the ones who were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being first fruits to God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no deceit, for they are without fault before the throne of God. Then I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come, and worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea and the springs of water. And another angel followed, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Then I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, Write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works follow them. Then I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and on the cloud sat one like the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him who sat on the cloud, Thrust in your sickle and reap, for the time has come for you to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So he who sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. Then another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, who had power over fire, and he cried with a loud cry to him who had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in your sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. So the angel thrust his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and threw it into the great winepress of wrath, the wrath of God. And the winepress was trampled outside the city, and blood came out of the winepress to the horses' bridles for 1,600 furlongs.
Okay.
All right. So
Oh,
here we go. Over to you. Verse 1. Then I looked, and behold, a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads.
Okay, now in the previous chapter, we saw that John is give us the details and the description about the Antichrist, about these two beasts, the Antichrist and the prophet, the false prophet, that they are coming from the people and what is going on and what they are going to do, how they will mark the people, how they will make them people to worship the Antichrist and all these things. So the scene that we have in the previous chapter, it's on earth. John was giving us a description according what he was seeing on earth, and it was something amazing because he was telling us what is going to happen when the Antichrist will take over and how he will take over, and we made this description in the previous conference. Now he says, "Then I looked and behold." Now he is transferring the scene to the from the earth to the sky, and we will see this because all these that we saw before, the four angels, the eldest, the lamp, we see again. And why he is changing now the scene, and we are going again to the sky, to heaven, because he saw us what's going on to the earth, but now he have to show us also the opposite, the opponents, the other the other side, the good side, the side of Christ, and how he will protect us, because we saw what the Antichrist will do. But
That's
what
right.
about God? What he's going to do about this? And in the 14th chapter, is the answer, we can say, of the sky, from the that comes from the sky, and it's a very optimistic chapter, because in fact we will see that the Lamb will will win against the Antichrist, and that's why it's very important, and the details that we will see is very important. So that's why we made this introduction, to see where we are now, where we are standing. The 14th chapter is about the answer of the 13th chapter from the sky. That's why we see that and then I looked. Then I looked. He's changing his point of view, John, and he's looking to the sky. And behold, a lamp standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads. The Mount of Zion, and the lamp standing on the Mount of Zion, is the Church of Christ. And now we know that we have two dimensions of the church. The Holy Father says that we have here the church that is fighting, and the victory, the church of victory that is in heaven. The people that they are passing from this life to the other life, they go from the church, the fighting church, that they are fighting for their salvation. They go to the church that they are the winners. So but these two, it's one church. It's not two churches. It's one church. And the people that they are winning, they are going, they become winners from the passions and from the struggle that they have against devil. They are going from this struggling to the church that they will rest from the rest of their life, and they will be with the Lamb, Jesus Christ. And this is what we are seeing. We will see. That's why we said that this is the answer to what we saw in the chapter 13, because the Lamb that's standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000. We saw also this number before in the previous chapter, 144,000 people. And we said, by that time, we explained that it's the amount of the people that they are saved and they are with Christ. And that's why we are using this number that is 12 to 12, having his father's name written on their foreheads. We saw in the previous chapter that the Antichrist will write on the foreheads and on the hands of the people his name by a number, the 666. Now we see exactly the same thing in the sky, on Mount Zion, that these people that the people that they're saved and the people that they are with Christ, they have on their foreheads written a name that is the Father names, and the name of the Father of Jesus Christ, and this means the God name that God have no name. For example, we have to know that God, the name of the God is the Holy Trinity in our language, because God needs no name, because He's unique. He don't have to have a name, but this name is giving us that they have written on their foreheads this name. It's giving us the sense that they belong to Jesus Christ. They are servants of the Holy Trinity, and they belong to them. According to the 13th chapter, that these people that receive the mark of the beast, they belong to the Antichrist. And that's why we have these two sins, the sin of the earth that the people fight against Antichrist, and the people who won through this fight. And because of this victory, they God wrote in their foreheads the name of the Father, the Holy Trinity. So, yes.
Okay, so Revelation 14:2, and I heard a voice from heaven like the voice of many waters and like the voice of loud thunder. And I heard the sound of harpists playing their harps.
Yes. Now, John is trying to make a description of what he sees, but it's not easy to describe what he sees, because you saw it's very easy for him to describe, to give a description on the earth, but in the sky it's not easy. That's why he heard the voice from heaven, like the voice of many water, not many waters, like the voice, and like the voice of loud thunder, means that what he's uh, uh, this expressing us the power and the authority of Jesus Christ for what he is saying, and what he is giving us is the security that he's the God, and he's going to dominate upon Antichrist, and that we don't have to be afraid. That's why he's seeing us, he shows us, he's trying to make a description for what he sees. And that's why he said, I heard the sound of harpists playing the harps. This is the glorify of God. All this, what he sees is all these people and angels to give glory to God for the victory. This is a victorious sin that we see. And that's why the 14th chapter is something very optimistic, because we see the victory against the Antichrist.
So, heard the sound of harpers playing their harps. So it's showing that there's a lot of joy in heaven. And what does it mean, the voice of many waters?
John is not able to describe what he see and what he hearing. The voice of because the voice of many water falling, it's like a falling water, is something very loud and something that gives you gives you the define of strength, of and power and authority. That's why he says that like the voice of many waters. He is trying to define what he sees for authority and power.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, interesting. Okay, Revelation 14:3. They sang as if it were a new song before the throne, before the four living creatures and the elders, and no one could learn that song except the 144,000 who were redeemed from the earth.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, we see that these harpists, they sang as it were a new song before the throne. It means that John is trying uh, to give us the sensation and what he sees that is not easy to understand and to feel what he sees, because it's not John is not only seeing what he sees, but he's feeling what he's feeling, and what his experience is something incredible. And only people that they experience God and they had something with God, an experience with God, they are able to understand what John is described, the description of John. And that's why now, because what they sang, these harpists, is something that they give glory to God, but it's something very special and unique, because this new song that they sang before the throne, before the four living creatures, means before of the angels, and not the four angels only, but before all the angels and the elders. It's very important. And also from the sense, no one could learn that song except the 144,000 who were redeemed from the earth. This means that it's a special occasion and a special category of this sense. The 144,000 people that they were redeemed from the earth is a special group of saints. And we will see why it's a special. We have to go below to see what is a special group.
Okay. All right. Revelation 14:4. These are the ones who were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being first fruits to God and to the Lamb.
Okay, now we see that he's explaining us this special group of people, because also in the previous chapter we saw that the people that they will receive the mark on their foreheads and on their left hand, on the right hand, they will be redeemed from the people, but they will be dedicated to the devil, to the Satan. Now we see the exactly opposite. These people, these are the ones who were not defiled with women, means that there was virgins, and it's not something that it's um, it's hypothetical, something hypothetical. This is something that is real. We can't. The Holy Fathers, Saint Andreas Caesarius, says that the interpretation that we have to give here is something that is uh, clear, that there was virgins and they were not defiled with women. Okay, that's why and because not everybody that is going to be virgin is going to be saved also, because you have to have also other qualification. You have to be pure in your heart, you have to be pure in your mind, you have to be a nice person, you have to work all the commandments of God, It's not something that everybody that is virgin is going to be saved. That's why he defines and he says, these are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. And this is something very important. Means that these people was dedicated to the Lamb, to the Jesus Christ. Not only their bodies, but also their souls, and also their minds, and also all the action of the life that they was making, that there was the way that they was living, it was dedicating to God. That's why it's very important. These are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, okay, being first fruit to God and to the Lamb. These are the people that they are, how can we say, the special group, the chosen ones, that there was 100% completely dedicated to the Lamb. That's why also Jesus Christ give them a special position to the paradise, near to him. And as they was following the Lamb, when there was in the earth, that it wasn't something easy, to follow Jesus Christ when you are in this earth, and especially in our days. That's why Jesus Christ is making this honor to them, to be also with him and to follow also near him when they will be in the kingdom of heaven. And why he says these things? These things, and John is giving these descriptions to us because he wants us to be to give us courage and to be brave against what we are going to experience with the Antichrist, because the Antichrist will give fear to the people. So he will try with the fear to possess them, but Jesus Christ giving love and gives glory to the people, and this is the contradiction between these two, and that's why John, because in the chapter 13 he gave us a lot of horror and a lot of how can I say, anxiety. So now he gives us courage and anxiety, and that we don't have to worry about, because God is with us, and we have to be with him and to be strong, and we will gain the kingdom of heaven.
And Revelation 14:5.
We continue.
Yep. And in their mouth was found no deceit, for they are without fault before the throne of God, which is really what you just described there about the first fruits.
Exactly. It's not only the virginity that they kept, it's all the packets. Not only that there was virgin, that they didn't slept with women or with men, because they are not going to be only men, they are going to be also women. That's why they didn't kept only the virginity, but the whole package.
Yeah, they followed the Lamb wherever he goes. So they followed all God's instructions wherever they went. All right, 14:6. Okay. Then I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, "Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come, and worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and springs of water."
Now, we saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven. John is now sees another scene, and he's taking us also in another scene that it's also in the midst of heaven, but this angel is speaking, and he's addressed to the people of earth. And what he says, he's trying to warn people not to believe to Antichrist, and not only to the Antichrist that it will be in the last days of the humanity, because as we said before, many Antichrist exists in all ages, you know. And that's why he says that having the everlasting gospel to preach to them who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people. You know, it's very important. It says that to everlasting gospel. What this everlasting gospel is? The everlasting gospel is the gospel of God, and the annunciation that Jesus Christ is the only God, the Holy Trinity is the only God, and that's why he's spreading this gospel to every tribe, every nation, to all people, not only in some people. It's very important. This is something global, and because the Antichrist will make this globalization, and he will try to conquer everybody, all the nations and all the people. That's why also Jesus addressing to everybody and trying to protect all the people, not only one nation. That some people say is that we are the chosen nations, a nation, we are the Christian, for example. No, the gospel is addressing to everybody, and says with a loud voice. This is what he says, and this is the meaning of the gospel. Fear God and give glory to Him, in opposite to what the Antichrist is doing, that says that fear me and give glory to me. That's why the angel is spreading this gospel and try to make people not to be deceived by the Antichrist, and not only the Antichrist that he will exist in the end of the times, but also in the Antichrist people, the Antichrist religions, the Antichrist systems, the Antichrist philosophies that exist, and they are trying to deceive people and took them away from Jesus Christ. Now, he says, for the hour of his judgments has come. Maybe this angel, as the Holy Fathers interpret it, is always on the mist of the heaven, always preaching, never from the day that Jesus Christ resurrected and he was lifted on the earth, on the sky, his human, like a human also, not only as a God, but also as a human. This angel is always spreading the gospel of the eternal gospel of Jesus Christ. It's not something that is happening only in the days of the Antichrist. It's happening during these 2,000 years, but especially it's happening in the days of the Antichrist, because God is making more tension this preaching, because he must protect more his people, because the Antichrist will be something very strong and unique, and we need strongest warnings from the sky, you know.
And it's important
Yeah.
for us to also be a testimony for the Bible so that people don't forget what the Bible really teaches, so that the word of God stays correct and not in a confusion.
Yes, and is eternal. It's not only for 1 year. It's not a message for a decade, or for some people, or for some nations, or for some time. It's eternal and for everybody and forever.
And
Now, can we
and
go a
it's
little?
our role. It's our role to also spread the gospel.
Yes, of course. Uh, we have to say the last words of the chapter, verse 7, I
7.
think. Yeah, 14, verse 7.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and springs of water. This is the meaning of the gospel, you know, because uh, uh, from the day that God create Adam and Eve, God create humanity, the devil is trying to deceive people and to make them, to turn them towards him and to worship him and not God. That's why we have the idolatry, and that's why we have so many martyrs, because the people who was working from devil was trying to persuade people to worship the idols, because this is what devil wants. He wants to be worshipped, and he wants blood. He wants blood. He want be. He want people to be sacrificed for him. That's why the gospel and the preaching of this angel is worship him, not someone else, only God, because he made heaven and earth, he made the sea and the springs of the water, and he is the God. And this is the most terrible sin that a man can do, a person can do, to worship false gods and to be in an heresy that worshiping a false Jesus Christ that don't exist. And according to the Holy Fathers, the worshiping of him is going to the devil.
Yeah, because the worship should only go to God, who is the creator of heaven and earth,
Yes.
the sea and the springs of water and everything within it. Now, and another angel followed, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Okay. Now, we know that by the time that John was writing the Apocalypse, the Revelation, the Babylon was already fall. There is no Babylon anymore. It's many hundreds of years that before the Babylon was fallen. So what Babylon is, because we don't have Babylon now, and why Babylon is fallen now, because the other angel now is making this angel is according to the Holy Fathers is making description and also give courage to the people, because the Babylon that is fallen, and he says two times is fallen, the great city that made all the nation drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. We have a symbolism now. The Babylon is symbolized the Antichrist system, or the Antichrist systems that they are falling and falling all the time, because maybe these Antichrist systems make all the nations drink from the wine of the wrath of her fornication, that the fornication is not only the action of a man and a woman that it's illegal, but also is what we saw before in the Revelation 14 chapter 14 verses 7, because the fornication is not only happening with the body, but also when you give a worshiping to the devil or to the idols, this is a way of a fornication, and it's a spiritual fornication that is the worst sin, as we said before. So this angel, the second angel, is giving us the how can I say the gospel, the new a new
Like a
message, and
trumpet, a
a
message with a
happy message.
trumpet.
Yes, and a happy message that the Babylon, the Antichrist systems that they are fighting Christians are fallen. They will fall, and we will be the winners.
Mm-hmm. All right, Revelation 14:9. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Okay, now this third angel now is warning the people, okay, and not only the people that believe in the days of the Antichrist, but all the people, because as we see, the first angel is spreading the gospel all the ages, and this third angel is also spreading this message not only in the days of the Antichrist, especially in the days of the Antichrist, but also in the days of these days of 2000 years before the Antichrist. And now someone can say to me, but how this is happening? This we will see in another chapter, maybe later. We will see how we will explain. So this third angel saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and his image, and receive his mark on his forehead or in his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. So here, Jesus Christ is addressed also to Christians. So he will protect them and strengthen them, not only with the vision that John saw before, the glory of God that these people will have if they will resist to the Antichrist, but also he's addressing to the people that they are afraid of the Antichrist, and because what they are going to experience by these days, it will be something amazing, something incredible, something horrible. Not Saint Ephraim of Syros says to us that also the most powerful Christians, the most powerful souls, they will be in danger to deny Jesus Christ, because the Antichrist will make terrible things, and his authority will be global, and his power will be so big that he will conquer everything, everybody. So we have to be secured and to be very sure about what we believe, and to base ourselves in the gospel. That's why it will be very difficult for the people to resist the Antichrist. And that's why God is giving us these warnings, so the people will not be afraid. He's trying to make people afraid, not of the Antichrist, but of him. So, because if we don't resist and we go with the Antichrist, then what is expecting us is hell, and we will be against Jesus Christ. So that's why he's making all these descriptions, and that's why the third angel says that whoever is going to take the mark of the beast, even if in his on his forehead or on his head, he will be against God, and he will lose the eternal life.
Yeah, because Revelation, it's really, this is, very much about judgment. Judgment Day has come basically in the
Exactly.
book of Revelation. So Revelation 14:11, and the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name.
Exactly. This is what he is trying to support us, because as the Holy Father says that the martyrion is for some days or some more hours, is very short, but the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever, is never ending, and they have no rest day or night. This is the hell, the eternal hell, who worship who? The beast and his image. And this is something very important, because many times people are speaking only about the mark who received in the forehead or on the head, the mark of his name. But it's not only the mark of his name. The most important thing is that before you take this mark on his name, with his name, on your forehead or on your right hand, the people will worship the beast and his image. This is the most important, and I never hear people to say about the worshiping of the beast and his image. That's why we have to be very careful, because he will ask these two things: worshiping him and to take the mark. Whoever who do this, he's lost, no, eternal lost.
Yep. Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
Okay, here in these verses is something very important.
Donayon estin.
Pomone, the patience. Here is the patience of the saints. It means that the people who will not bow to the Antichrist and who will worship only the Christ and who will go against the Antichrist, they will go through a lot of difficulties, and they will go through death. They will experience death and the persecution in a very great tense, and it will be the greatest persecution of all the ages. That's why he says here is the patience of the saints, because what they are going to face is something unbelievable. Here are those, yes, who kept the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. That's why Saint Ephraim of Syro says that the people who will resist against against Antichrist, and not only to him but to the whole period, they will be superior of all the saints of all the ages, because they are not going to deal with the people of the Antichrist or the people of the devil, but they are going to go against the devil, the same Antichrist. It's very important. So that's why we say that these people will be the greatest saints of all the years.
Revelation 14:13. Then I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, "Write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works follow them."
Yes, this is now the victory, and what they are going to uh, enjoy after this victory and after this fight, because also we see this in our spiritual lives, because we are receive war from everywhere, and we have to have strength to go against all these bad things that they are coming and tempt us. And what is the result from this resistance that we are doing against the temptations and against all these bad things that are coming to us? The price of this resistance is that all these dead, they will be blessed, who dies from the Lord, for the Lord, in the Lord from now on. Because as the Holy Spirit says, these people they will rest eternally, and they will enjoy their lives eternally with Jesus Christ. That is the most important thing,
Any final words for the listeners?
The final words for the listeners are that this chapter is one of the most iconic and one of the most happy chapters of the and gracious chapters of the Revelation, because Jesus Christ, he is reassure us that we will be forever with him, and not to be afraid of the Antichrist and what he is going to do us, because he will kill us, or because we will go against not only him, to everybody. So we must be strong and happy, very happy, because we will be eternal with him. And this is what we want and what we're asking for from this life.
And this chapter is very clear that God is he's a God of judgment. He doesn't just let bad things happen and people are not accounted for it. You know, people that do bad things, they will be punished. And this is very
Of
clear
course.
in Revelation. He's a
He-
just God.
yes. And everything will be paid in the
That's
other
right.
life.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for the Bible
Okay.
study. It's amazing. And for our listeners, the playlist has every chapter that's been covered because we go through this every week as a study. And thanks so much, Geronda. God bless you and your family and our listeners.
God bless you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.